Well, hey there, everyone, and welcome to the VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Now, today is Friday, February 6th, and my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from a beautiful sunny day here in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger's going to be covering a range of important topics, including, he'll begin with his midday market analysis and updated stock list. And then he's going to explain what the apex between long and short term trend is and why that's important. We're also then going to pivot and do a review of the anchored VWAP and how we use it. We covered this in detail yesterday, and we're going to talk about the key dates that we use to anchor the VWAP, how to use the anchored VWAP for validating signals. And then, guys, this is going to be a lot of fun. And I love it when Roger does this. We're going to invite with you to share with us your favorite stock tickers. And then we're going to take a look at it and their relationship to the anchored VWAP to help drive some significant points home on the value of the VWAP and how to use it. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. And also, folks, remember, I've opened the chat to everyone, but we do have some ground rules. Please be kind and supportive in your post. Please keep to the topic. No political discussions allowed whatsoever. And guys, keep your side conversations between one or two of you to a minimum, because all it does is interfere with the rest of us who are trying to listen and learn from the information that Roger's sharing. Because after all, folks, he's here to give us an edge in the market and to help us all become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. Now, for those of you that were with us this morning at 8 o'clock for Roger's pre-market briefing, and I hope that most of you did that. You'll note that there were several catalysts on tap today that we needed to be aware of. In the chip sector, we saw that Micron and Marvell were both up over 4% coming into the open. Then on the retail side, Amazon was down 7%. On the healthcare front, we saw that MOH was down a negative whopping 28%, and BIIB were scheduled to release their earnings before market open. On the finance front, we noted that the Chicago Board of Option Exchange, something that's really important to what we do here, they're scheduled to release their earnings before market open. On the consumer front, Philip Morris releasing their earnings before market open. And then on the Fed front, we had the University of Michigan consumer and inflation expectation reports coming out, and we have one Fed speaker scheduled to talk today. Now, for those of you that wonder, why do we even talk about these catalysts? Well, from Roger's perspective, information that is either known or will become known during the trading session represents volatility flashpoints that we need to be aware of. And so from that standpoint, we like to know which are the key sectors and areas where there's significant movement or news going to be released, because that can help guide us when we make our decisions on potentially trading stocks in those sectors or in those areas. Now, as far as Roger's pre-market large cap watch list is concerned, today we were looking at 23 stocks. We had 9 stocks to the short side and we had 14 stocks to the long side. Now, when Roger selects these stocks, these are legitimate tickers. These are on his watch list, and they're not necessarily tickers that are ready to trade yet, but they have the potential. And if any of these stocks that are on Roger's watch list meets his requirements, his criteria, his filters that he looks for during the day, more than likely those will then be posted in the trading pit or in a number of Roger's other alert services. So these are the stocks that he was looking at coming into the open. And today, when we get started with Roger, he's going to give us an update as to what's on his watch list. As far as Roger's pre-market thoughts are concerned, we noted that the futures markets were all up very nicely coming into the open. The flip side of what we saw yesterday, where they were all dramatically down. In this case, whether it was the Dow, the S&P, the NQ, they were all all up coming into the open. We also noticed that the put the call ratio was balanced and the VIX was actually moving a bit lower below that 20 level that we all keep our eyes on. We also noted that the SPY, the QQQ, the SMH, and the IWM were all consolidating right at major support, just sitting there, in my mind, kind of idling, waiting for something that's going to push them a bit higher. We did see that the bonds were in range, but they were below the VWAP, and largely the move we saw yesterday was on a flight to quality as cash was moving out of sectors and into bonds. The sector rotation we see at this point in time definitely favoring defensive stocks over speculative stocks. Roger brought up the sector listing, and literally the top 10 positions were all defensive stocks, so definitely favoring that. Typically, what Roger likes to see is he'd like to see the speculative stocks at the bottom of the sector listing rotate up to the top because that means there's more volatility and more potential for movement in the market. Bottom line, Roger likes what he saw in the market. He says, I likes what I'm seeing here. Things are idling and could move higher, but it got to be cautious. Got to be cautious at this point in time, and that if you are taking positions, go small. The key thing here is to wait and keep an eye on the VIX. Will it continue to cool off? Will it drop below that 18 level? Because if it does, that would be a pretty strong indicator that the balance of the market could move higher. So once again, we've got a ton of great people coming into the room here today. We're delighted to have you with us. And from that perspective, Roger's really put together a very nice agenda for today. He's going to begin by sharing his midday market analysis, and he's going to give us an updated stock watch list. He's also going to explain what the apex between the long and the short-term trend is and why that's important. That came up in this morning's session. He's also then going to pivot and go back to a review of the anchored VWAP and how we use it. This is a continuation of the education we had yesterday, and we still have a lot of questions around that he wants to address. He's also going to talk about what are the key dates that we use to anchor the VWAP and how we use the anchored VWAP for validating signals. And then lastly, and this is fun, we're going to have one of those lightning round sessions where we're going to ask you to share with us a favorite stock, and then Roger's going to bring it up and he's going to discuss it, in particularly in its relationship to the anchored VWAP, just to go ahead and drive a significant point home on the value of having the anchored VWAP on your charts and how to use it. So that's going to be exciting. So if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we'll address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. Also, folks, remember that I've opened the chat window to everyone, and we do have some ground rules. Always be kind and supportive in your post. Please keep to the topic. No political discussions allowed whatsoever, and keep those side conversations between one or two of you to a bare minimum. This is not a chat room, folks. This is a place where we've come to listen and to learn what Roger's going to be sharing with us, because after all, he's here to give us an edge in the market and to help us all become much more confident and consistent in our trading activities. And with that, folks, let's say hi to Roger. Roger, it's great to see you. I understand that Matt may be under the weather today or out of the office or attending to family matters.
He's actually just out of the office. He's traveling. I don't know where he's traveling. One second, I just need to fix something really quick, really quick.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever. So
it'll just
anyway,
take a second.
Yeah, no problem. But so anyway, Matt is traveling today, but Roger and I are here with you. We're obviously live. It is, man, it's Friday. It's the 6th of February. Roger, it's the 6th of February. We were laughing the other day that it just seems like last weekend I had family here for Thanksgiving. A big chunk of time has just disappeared here. But we do have a great session today. We've actually had an excellent week of education. And yesterday, Roger spent an awful lot of time talking about the VWAP and the anchored VWAP and how he uses it. Because for those of you that have spent any time with Roger in our morning sessions or in the afternoon, in the VIP room, you'll note that those dotted lines are on all of his his charts, and we're frequently asked the question, what are those dotted lines? What do they mean? How do you use them? And Roger, it was just terrific yesterday because so many light bulbs went off. So many people had aha moments, and there are still some lingering questions, which is why I'm glad we're going to try to put a bow around that. And I also understand at the end of the session here, we're going to do a lightning round. We're going to ask people to share with us their favorite tickers, and then we're going to bring them up and we're going to look at them in particularly in relationship to the anchored VWAP.
That is correct. That is correct. You know, for some reason I have I guess we usually have the one second, let me just do we usually have the captions on? Do you know?
We usually have captions on. I understand that for YouTube.
Yes, but for some reason I have them on here. Let me hide them here. I usually don't have them in the afternoon because my screen gets too small if I have them in the afternoon. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm just. It's been. So Matt's not here today, and I rely on Matt for a lot of stuff, and I do like to multitask. Well, I do like to multitask, but um, it's been really, 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 really crazy today. First of all, I feel like I've been feeling for 2 days now like I'm coming down. You know that feeling when you feel like you're coming down with something, but you don't have. It's not coming anywhere.
Yeah, it's non-specific, but it's
It,
just kind of
I,
like you got a
I don't know what
sense.
you're right. I don't know if I mean I feel fine, but I feel like something may be brewing, if you will. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like it can go this way or this way. Now everybody around me, like not in my house, but like in the area and at work, everybody's got something.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's the
So
crud. We had it. I think it started with my youngest granddaughter. She came to spend the weekend with us a couple of weekends ago, and the next thing you know, it just kind of like ran through the household. And we got
exactly,
it in dribs and drabs. But anyway,
exactly. But
well,
anyway,
I
so
hope
that's
it's good
life
that the
over here.
weekend's coming because you get a chance to kind of relax and
Yes, yes,
and
we
take
get
care of yourself. But
yes.
interesting markets, Roger. I thought, I loved your analysis, as I always do, but I like the fact that you said, look, guys, I like where things are, and the way I looked at it, it's like these key markets are kind of idling right here at key support level. If the VIX gives us anything, we could see some movement. But you also said to be cautious, folks. If you're going to trade, take small positions, go small. Don't push all your chips into the middle. Wait until we see something more. So, given that, Roger, how are things sitting here at midday?
One second, he made that change. Things are actually looking fantastic at midday. We're looking very, very nice. To be honest with you, I can't, you know, I'm always so critical of the market. But today things are looking really, really nice. I mean, there's nothing really, uh, things are looking good. I mean, the spy's coming off. The only issue I see now is we're past the 8-day EMA. We need to get above this 15, and the eight, excuse me, has to cross back up. But this is strength. This is strength. This is very, 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 very bullish market. This is very positive. Um, this is really good. People are so used to me saying, well, this and this and this, but sometimes it just looks great. And this is a great comeback. If you look at SMH, this is how okay, so what I was taught, okay, this is perfect. I can actually show you before and after. So this is what I want the SPY to look like right now.
Yes.
You see how it's crossing above both 8 and 15, and you see how the 8 is here. You see how this yellow bar is trying to get above this blue line, and if the market goes a little higher, it will cross. See how it crossed the other way right here? I want it to cross back up, okay? And basically what I'm trying to say is I want the SPY to do that. The SPY's like 1 day behind. You see that?
Hmm.
We haven't gotten above that, and that's resistance right there. That's the 15-day line, and it's causing resistance. And I want to see us bust through it like that.
Yeah.
So this is actually
That's a great visual.
it's
Yep.
a great visual because I'm really looking to this is what I'm looking to for the market to do today. What I don't want to see it do, what I really don't want to see it do is I don't want to see it get stuck here, because if it gets stuck here, then you're between the 100-day and the 15-day, and there's some resistance day. Now, granted, Granted, the 15-day is not this is not a major support or resistance level. The 50 is, the 100 is, the 15 is not a major, it's a minor support level, okay? I key off of that. Basically, the 15-day EMA is a 2-week level. Once we start getting above here, it means we're trading near the 2-week average. We're right now below the 2-week average, okay? That's kind of mimic the yellow line mimics the 1-week average, and the blue line equals the 2-week average, and you could see them right here. And that's the 100-day right in between. That's just a resistance level. But my point is, I really want us to get back here. I really want us to see us get back here now. And I'll tell you something else. This is retarded. Okay, this Amazon, down move we're seeing.
Hmm.
Actually, Amazon's starting to bottom out. It looks like it wants to get back up. But this move we're seeing is ridiculous because, okay, Amazon is spending more money, but they're not spending more money because people are not buying their stuff. They're spending more money because they're putting more money. Um, one second. Yeah. Should be 13. Just different months.
Yeah, I think
Sorry,
the
folks. I
report came
placed,
out on
okay. No, no,
Amazon
no.
that,
Let me explain
yeah,
to you what happened. I placed a new trade in weekly cash flow, and Matt is not in today, and I'm trying to get his replacement to place the trade correctly, and they messed up on one of the dates. Both dates are the 13th. It's February 13th and March 13th, and they wrote 14th and 13th. So if anybody's here and you're wondering about that trade, it's the 13th and the 13th, okay? It's February 13th and March 13th.
okay.
13th. Let me confirm that. Yes, 13th of February and 13th of March. Yes, 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 yes. Sorry about that. I apologize. Again, folks, I do apologize. Um, Matt is not here today, and Matt usually deals with all of this. And I apologize. He's not here today. And I'm doing weekly cash flow. I'm doing um, all the swing trading programs. I'm day trading the SPY in Trading Zone Live. I'm doing high flyers, and I'm doing the pit. Now, you want to hear something funny about it, Raleigh? You want to hear the icing on the cake?
Let's hear it.
Folks, did we take a winner today in the pit? Did we take a winner today in high flyers? Did we
Yeah.
take a winner today in Trading Zone Live? And did we take a winner last night in weekly cash flow?
Hmm. I'm not, why am I not surprised? Roger, you got a lot going on, and on top of that, you got this feeling like you're coming down with something, and so we do very, very much appreciate you being here. And folks, once again, this is live, okay? And so, as Roger just shared with you, he's got some other responsibilities going on in parallel, in particularly managing trades that he is issuing and working with in his other subscription services. So we will be very patient with you. But you were talking about Amazon, and they said they want to spend 200 billion on
Yes.
AI.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is so when I was reading it, I'm like, okay, the stock is down because investors are unhappy because Amazon wants to spend more money on expansion. That's a good thing. And meanwhile, all the AI chip, again, I keep saying AI, the chip stocks, right?
Mhm.
They're going up on this news like crazy, right?
Yeah.
They're like, this is fantastic. And Amazon goes down. I mean, come on. I mean, it's like the shareholders are like thinking like this. I mean, this is good. Like, okay, we got some bad news and we got some good news. The bad news is we got to spend more money, but the money's being spent on AI farms. We want to expand more aggressively. Oh, you want to grow more. Okay. See, the difference. So, folks, I want to teach you something fundamentally right now. This is not going to help you this will become a better trader. Okay. This will help you become a better trader. There are two kind of companies. Okay. There's the Teslas. Tesla's where Amazon was 15 years ago. Okay. It's when you could throw a carrot at the stock and make all these promises, and the stock goes up based on the promises. And then you have a stock like Amazon. Amazon did that for years, for I want to say decades, right? It did. It did. What's fair is fair, right? But Amazon finally started making money, and it became a company that doesn't the carrot. You can't wiggle Amazon with a carrot anymore. You got to show the goods. Okay. So remember, there's two kind of companies, and usually you could tell the difference by the PE ratio. If you see a stock going straight up and it's trading at 200 PE, it's a carrot stock. Duh. But if you see a stock trading at 40 PE, 30 PE, 20 PE, not tech stock, usually 40 for tech stocks. But if you see a stock like that, then you know it's not going to be driven by, oh, we're going to make a new electric car in 3 years, and we haven't designed it yet. But it's no, 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 that won't work. So my point is, what I'm trying to say is, if someone like Tesla came out with that news, the stock would actually go up a lot because the company's not making any. It's still flying on promises, still flying on fumes, if you will. And again, I'm not saying anything negative about Tesla right now. I'm using it as an example because Tesla is a prime example of that right now. Okay. So let's not, um, again, I'm not trying to badmouth Tesla in any shape, way, or form. Okay. I'm just saying what's going on.
It's
Okay.
using it as an example. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, because it seems well from the best recollection I have, it's the biggest company that still does that in the world, right? Usually, when a company gets that big, think about how big it is, right? Usually, when a company gets that big, the company starts, like really making revenue. But Tesla's still making a lot of promises. And again, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying I'm giving you the contrasting view. Okay. Okay. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. Okay. Thank you. All right. They fixed it. So that trade is fixed. Sorry, folks. Again, I'm a soul man today.
So, man. Hey, Roger, the other thing is this is a number of people piped in is they figured that that was an error. And
Yeah,
most of them
but
placed a trade with the 13th, but still it's a mistake on our end.
right. It's a mistake, and a mistake is a mistake, and that's the bottom line. And we need to address our mistakes. That's what adults do. That's what
Yes.
adults do. They actually address their mistakes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let me give you my watch list. I have a really nice light watch list for you. Okay. And again, if I'm a little out of it today, I apologize. I don't know if I'm coming or going, but we're doing really well. That's all I know. I gave you my levels. My levels are in the morning. I'm going to close the chat right now, but my levels are in the morning Telegram channel, and my chat, and the chat is closed. So I don't need any more distractions. I'm already, looking at a million things. By the way, now I have 4, 5, 6, 7 monitors at home, and I have a space for one more. And I'm looking and these are big monitors, bigger than the ones I have at the
I
office.
think you got a side business. You're mining Bitcoin or something there.
No,
But
no,
you're able to replicate your office environment.
yeah,
So when you're
Raleigh.
working from home.
Yeah, exactly. Like today and Monday, I'm working from home. Matt is traveling, so I don't really need to be there. I mean, unless I want to be in the room by myself, in a huge room by myself all day, I could just be in my office and check on my wife and my animals the whole day. But these monitors, I've had these monitors since 2019. They're big 24-inch monitors, and I never used them. And I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to crack them, bust out with them. And I set up this thing here. I'll send you guys a picture maybe later today. So now my old computer I have here on the side, and my laptop is right here. And then I have 4 24-inch monitors on top of me. It looks like I have a winged airplane on top of me. Anyway, it's fantastic. People said that the video is coming out much better in the morning. Actually, it's a brand new video card. Everybody seems to be happy, and that's the goal in life. Okay, so let me give you guys stocks that I'm looking at right now. Okay.
Okay. And folks, I'm going to record these stocks and then I'll post them in the chat in case you missed them.
Yeah, and this way we don't have to repeat stocks today. Okay. Don't repeat the same stocks that I'm giving you right now for obvious reasons. Okay. All right. Okay, short side first. Hims, Hims. Now, I know the stock is up right now. I know the stock is up. My suggestion would be to put an alert right here at about 25.50 and catch it right around here or here as it's going down, okay? This is going to be good for a week. But I like the stock. I like the stock a lot. Raleigh, you could see me and hear me just fine, right?
Oh yeah, just
Okay,
perfect.
okay,
Yep.
great. BMNR, okay. Now, remember, folks, markets are bouncing today, so you have a lot of strength in the market. But it doesn't. These are ideas. These are not trades that are ready to go right now. Same thing right here. Same thing right here. Look at this steep trend. If this thing stalls at the 8-day, it's going to look a lot like this, like Netflix. Netflix stalled yesterday near the 50-day, and look how it's looking right now. So BMNR. I like this stock to the downside. Again, I'm going to set an alert right at the 8-day. Indicator is crossing down. Oh, price is crossing up. Yes. 1 week. Okay, great. I'm kind of doing this, and I'm setting alerts, and I'm showing you stocks at the same time. So bear with me here. Oracle. Oracle looks great. Again, this is getting a little overextended. I want to get it right around here, so I'm going to set an alert, okay? And it crosses up the 8-day, 1 week. Okay. CP&G also on the red line. We're going to get it right here. But I love these stocks. I want these weak stocks. I don't want stocks that have been going up and are now going down. I want stocks that have been going down as the market's making a 52-week high. We're going to set an alert. Okay. Going to set an alert right here. And you know what? I don't know if Richie's here or if he's trading right now, but I could tell you Richie's doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I could promise you he's doing exactly what I'm doing right now. That's what he should be doing. This one actually, RGTI, this is a really strong bar, and it had really strong volume. So I'm going to hold off on this one. I'm just going to wait till it comes to the 15-day and evaluate it there. Here. Crossing up to 15. Okay. There we go. QBTS. Yeah, also a little too strong. I want to get this one when it's closer to the 15. And if it doesn't get there, that's fine. With 1 week, I don't care. Okay, right here. Somewhere right here. And remember, if this continues just chopping, the 15-day will keep coming down and keep consolidating. So I want to give it a week. Okay. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. I think energies have more, and I'll show you. Well, I'll get into that. Let me just do this here. Riot just crossed the 200, and now it's testing it again. Remember this pattern that I showed you here? I showed you this pattern. So pretend this. I'm going to draw this here because I don't want to, mess this up. But look. Price breaks, right? Price comes back up. So look. Remember?
Hmm.
Does that look familiar to you guys? Oh God, why does it do that? I need to find a better better
It
saw.
kind of
Hold on.
defaults, doesn't it,
It's
Roger?
I don't know. It just it's so convenient, the snippet tool because it's from Windows. But that arrow, I don't know why that arrow has to show up. So look. Here, here, here. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's your entry right here and your profit targets here. So this is not a bad trade, but it has to start getting weak here. We have to start breaking the VWAP here. Okay. I just wanted to show you that pattern repeats over and over and over again. There you go, Peter. Good for you. Did you guys get that fill on the diagonal? Let me know. Let me know if you guys got filled on the diagonal. Roblox. I like Roblox. Okay, good. I like Roblox. I do. Again, everything is up today, but these are stocks that have been going down for a while. Let's wait for this to top out. It's already at the 15. It seems to resist around here. Let's see if it gives out or not. Lift. Lift right here, right there. I'm gonna put an alert at the 8-day EMA. This thing it's nice. Set some alerts there. Lift. PSCY. I like this stock. Look how smooth this stock looks. I'm gonna set the alert at the 8-day on this one. All right. Week. All right. And D-Dog, the old dog. 8-day EMA. Now I'm really setting alerts on all of these, and I will look to take action. Here, crossing out the 8-day. There you go. Okay. That's a good question, actually. PSCY. Yeah, it's Paramount. It's the Skydance, Paramount Skydance. Yes. Look at this trend. This is what I keep telling you guys.
It's
Stocks
beautiful.
like this. Look at these like Raleigh. Gee, let's see which way is this stock moving? And there's always going to be that one guy that wants to go long here,
Yeah.
thinking it's going to be the end, thinking that he's
Mhm.
smarter than everybody else.
And you
What do
know
I
what,
always tell
Roger?
you?
Psychologically, that's an issue for a lot of
Yes,
people. They look at this and they're going like, I missed a move. I'm just waiting for a pullback. And the point
sure.
is, and it's just, because there was another question that chimed in, and he said, hey, Roger, at what point would you consider getting into Oracle long? So you're looking at Oracle, on this downward slab. You're a long ways from going long
Right.
on Oracle, unless you're looking to scalp a quick little move, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Folks, stocks that are hot or that are bullish keep getting more bullish, and stocks that are bearish, they keep getting more bearish. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Here's what I'll tell you, okay? And this is something that actually I'll give myself a little credit for this one. This one only took me a few months to figure out when I started trading, okay? But so here's a downtrend, right? You see the stock huffs and puffs for a few days.
Hmm.
People think that this is it. This is the big one. It's going to move and all that. And then what does it do 2 days later? It comes down, consolidates, and then it breaks down again. What does it do here? It huffs and puffs for 2, 3 days, and then typically news and remember, fundamentals are much more important, much more important than technicals. Okay, much more important than technicals. In other words, if I have a news announcement, that overrides any technicals for 2 to 3 days. You understand? For 2 to 3 days, and then the stock reverts back. So, and I remember, one thing about me when I first started watching stocks, again, to my credit, I didn't use technical indicators. I used price action. So I would always be watching price action. And this is what you see. Stock is moving down, down, down. It had earnings, and then it comes back down. It moves down. Oh, the market goes up 400 points, and then it comes right back down. Same thing with stocks that are going up. It has a couple of days of Michigas, and then it goes back up. It has a couple of days of Michig. That's why I say stocks do this. Okay. So, so, but so fundamental news overwrites technicals, but it only has a lasting value of 2, 3 days. And then that whatever that news is, it gets priced into the stock. And then there's no other reason, there's no other catalyst to make it go higher. Okay.
It's a great point.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are using value. They're trying to use value. And here's the other problem I see. And I see I not as many people anymore. Not as many people, but I used to get a lot of people um, who used to send me emails. I got one last night. Nice guy. I mean, it was a nice email, or there was nothing bad about it. It was just very. If you make a decision on a stock, and your decision is not to hold the stock for a year or more, so well, let me explain to you what they do. They bootstrap ideas. Okay, they bootstrap ideas. So here's what they do: they buy a stock because it's in a downtrend, and then the stock starts, and the stock they buy a stock, it's in an uptrend, the stock goes down 20 points against them, and now they start talking about all the fundamental things the stock does. Right? I got an email, nice guy last night. Hey, I got on Amazon or whatever that stock was. I don't remember what stock it was. I got on the stock. The stock was in a really nice uptrend, and now the stock is down X amount. But look, the company is doing this and the company's doing that. Okay. So my answer is you bought the stock based on technicals. What do fundamentals have to do with any of this? Nothing. Nothing. Fundamentals take years to work out sometimes. So you can't go enter a stock because you think this and then keep a stock because because you think something else, not liquidate the stock you can't do that. That's called magical thinking, folks. That's called buffoonery. Now, I know beginners do that because they don't know any better. But if you've been here for at least a couple of months, do you ever see me saying, hey, I love this downtrend, but the stock is doing so good fundamentally that those ideas don't even come into my head. Okay. So please, if you got into a stock because it's doing really well, then you should stay in that stock till it stops doing really well. If you got into a stock because the trend is really good, then you should stay in the stock because the trend is really good until it's not. But you got to be consistent in your decision making. And if you buy stocks because they start making money and they're doing well, that's great. I don't have a problem with that. But then you that has to be consistent all the way through. Okay? So don't you can't go bootstrapping your logic. That's called magical thinking. That's what children do. Okay. It ain't going to get you, it's not going to get you out. And again, if you're a beginner, it's a very common fallacy. Everybody does it like for the first couple of weeks or a month, but you got to get out of that mode, right? Okay. Technicals are technicals, fundamentals are fundamentals.
Yeah, and Roger, I just want to add to that or reinforce to that. Your point is that there are times when fundamentals will trump the technicals, but those are short-lived.
Yes,
Those are just short-lived.
yes, unless there's an exception, and it happens about 1% of the time. Unless the news is something that has the biggest impact on the company, not just like we're being taken over by or
Yeah, good
that,
point.
that,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
there's
Yeah.
an exception, but that exception is 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 100 or whatnot.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Let me go through my long stocks here. Key, beautiful stock. Uh, Gonna need to get a pullback to the 8-day EMA. Price is crossing down. Okay. Key, very nice. ADI. Now, this is an interesting stock. This stock was going up yesterday as the market was going, as chips were like melting away, you know? Um, it actually looks pretty, you know what? I'll set an alert at the 8-day as well because it's not there yet. It's still here. I want to see it right here. Excuse me. SWK. This is a day trading stock. You don't want to swing trade this stock. You want to day trade the stock today. It's a little overextended for a swing trade. I want to swing trade it closer to the 8-day right here. Form, same thing that I just said. Same thing. Costco. It's starting to move again, and I like how it's above this area. I think Richie keeps telling me about this stock. He likes to trade this stock. Looks pretty good. It's a little too choppy for my blood, but I like how it's moving right now. Roll. Nice right here. Nice little move right there. Roll. FedEx. Woo, baby. Now this is a day trading stock till it gets down here. Once it gets down here, we'll talk again. But okay. AME. I like the stock when it gets back to the 8-day. Crossing down. Yes, I want to see it crossing down. Richie says, take a look at ZS. Let's look at ZS. Yep, that's a nice one right there. Nice stock right here. Yeah, ZS looks good for a short.
You want to add that to the shorts?
Yeah. ZS looks great for a short. Yeah. There's a lot of nice shorts, but this is a good one because the market's strong right now and this stock is coming down, which means it's relatively weak, which is what we want. Most of our shorts we have to add to our watch list. This one looks good. The only thing I don't like about it is it's just very choppy, which means you can put a stop loss right here if you wanted to trade it. Okay. Actually, there's some more here. Let me go back to the chat. Okay. GLW. Really nice looking stock right now. Cisco. Really nice looking stock right now. CF. Nice looking stock right now. BA. Actually, that looks like a nice swing trade right there. BA. Where's my BA? I like BA right now a lot. BA looks very sexy. This is nice. Let's put the anchored VWAP and test it out. Yep, look. See, we're above the VWAP. And we're above the anchored VWAP, and we're above this VWAP. Okay. Okay. Citibank, nice stock. Nice stock. A little day trading, not swing trading, and volume is going down. So I would be a little careful here for follow through. Another couple of on semiconductor. I like this stock. And I think that's it. Did I show you GLW? Yeah, GLW. I really like that one. And Walmart, by the way, folks, making new highs or near new highs, which is really nice.
Was Citi the last one, Roger?
Yes.
Or was there, okay.
Yes.
All right.
I want to give you a few more to the short list. I have a couple more that I didn't give you. These are shorts, okay? Do you mind if I add a couple more?
Let's go ahead. I'll add them right here on my chart. Yep.
Now is breaking down now. Uber, old Uber. Wix. I like how the stock moves, by the way. It's very predictable movement. Wix, um, Autodesk. Okay. Sorry, needed to add a few more.
No problem whatsoever. So, folks, I'm going to go ahead and post these for you so that you have them. And Roger, really appreciate the way you went through those, and particularly if people were paying attention, noting where you were putting alerts for yourself, because once again, from your perspective, that's what you want to see if you consider turning these into something more actionable.
Yes. And Rob, the diagonal trade was given in the weekly cash flow program where it belongs. My point here was just making sure that you guys took the right expiration date. One of the expiration dates was off by 1 day, which most people kind of figured out, but there's that. Okay. Now, do we have a list of your favorite stocks?
Well, before we do that, Roger, one of the things that
Oh,
several people asked about was the apex.
yes. As soon as I said it, I was like, wait a minute, I forgot to give them the apex. Yeah, this is important, actually, folks. This is important. So it's actually really important. Okay. So let me show you. Okay. The lowest risk entry opportunities occur at the apex between the long-term trend and the short-term trend. Okay. All right. Now, this is the long-term trend. Okay.
Hmm.
The short-term trend goes in the whatever direction it's going, either up or down, but it's got to have a trend, right? And the short-term trend is the trend that goes counter to it. Okay. Your lowest risk entry opportunities. And by the way, that's your level right here. That's your level. That's your, you know how we're talking about levels, what
Yep.
levels, the 5 levels. You're in those, how to enter the trade would apply here. Okay. But we're zooming out a little bit. But yes, these are levels right here. Okay. These are levels. These are lines. There's lines over there. Okay. Okay. So, um, so look, you would see something like this. You'd see price move something like this. Okay. Basically, okay. So do you understand? You need to be able to identify, in order to do that, you need to identify the long-term trend and you need to identify the short-term trend. If you can't identify them, then you can't do this. Okay. Now, this is where your um, can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me all right, Raleigh?
Yeah, your audio is fine.
Okay, good. This is where all of this stuff so you need to understand. So let's look at a chart, okay? Let's look at a stock. I'm going to give you a bullish stock because it's easier for you guys to be able to see this with a bullish stock. So I randomly picked FedEx, okay? So what way is FedEx moving right now? What's the main trend? Up. Right. Here, let's take a screenshot of this, okay? Here, actually, you know what? Here. Let's do this. Okay. I randomly picked FedEx, okay? What I'm teaching you right now is really valuable. So please listen. Stop thinking and stop just listen and absorb. That's your trend, right? That's your trend right here, right? That's your main trend. Okay. What happens here? That's your short-term trend. Okay. That's your short-term trend. Let's pick another stock. How about ADI? Okay, perfect. ADI. Let me show you. Okay. Short-term trend, short-term trend, short-term trend, short-term trend. Capiche?
Hmm.
Obviously, you know the long-term trend is right here. Okay. Now, notice the 8-day EMA and the 15-day EMA, that when price gets near the 8-day or the 15-day, it tends to revert. That's usually the apex. You guys know how I like to buy near the 8-day EMA?
Yep, all the time. Yep.
When you have context. In this context, this is the context. If the context is like this, I'm not going to want my 8-day EMA trades are not going to yield me anything. The long-term trend is moving like this, right? So you have some context. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're not understanding this, then it's on you. I'm giving you good examples. Let me give you another one. Key. All right, key. Perfect. Perfect. Let's try this. Capiche?
Brilliant.
What's the long-term trend? There's your long-term trend. See how you have pullback, pullback, pullback? 15-day, 15-day, 15-day. What happens to the 15-day here? Every time. Once, twice, three. As soon as you have a trend. Lift off. If you can identify, now, watch. Watch. I'll put it all together for you right now in a bow tie. If you can identify these areas, then you can invalidate your trade pretty quickly, which means you have upside and your downside is right here. Your risk is right here. Your risk is right here. Your risk is right here. Apex, apex, connection between two things, Cyrus. Apex.
It's not an acronym.
Yeah. So do you guys understand? So again, let's go back to where we started. Let's go back to where we started, okay? The apex between the short term and the long term trend is your lowest risk entry opportunity. Because if you go out here or start trading out here, you know that this is broken, right? Okay. Okay. All right.
So, a quick question here, Roger.
Yes.
Is there a certain number of apexes we want before making a trade, or does it really matter? I think each apex stands on its own.
It stands on its own. It stands on its own. I'm teaching you low risk entries right now,
Hmm.
not low risk exits. So let's owner, focus on what I'm teaching you right now. Learn this part first. Okay. All right. This is this. Look, here's right here, and right here. Okay. So again, main trend, short-term trend. You always go into the direction of the long-term trend. You wait for a confirmation that the short-term trend. So, okay, Roger, we understand that this is our low risk entry opportunities. Okay, I get it. We get it. We get it. We see it right here. 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 Okay, but how do you enter? How do you actually enter? Well, remember over the last 2 weeks, I had session on using on 5 ways to enter a trade. And remember, I explained to you how you could use those entries for anything you trade, whether you trade 1 second scalps or whether you trade swing trades. You see how it all comes back? Remember? 5 ways to enter a trade. Woo! Consolidates. 2, Whoop. Comes back. 3. Whoop. This way. 4. Broke through. And 5. Do you guys remember that session we had? Told you you were going to have, it was all going to, see how everything comes together. Well, there you go. Now you understand the relationship between the long-term trend and the short-term trend. And now you understand how to enter the trade. The only thing left is how to manage it and how to exit. See, for all of you who weren't paying attention that time when I was explaining and told you how I don't care what you trade, I don't care what your style of trading is, I don't care if you scalp, if you day trade, your swing trade, or position trade, you're going to have to learn these 5 methods of entry. So you
Yep.
better get with it now. What if I told you that 99.9% of people I've talked to, including just about every major guru, has no idea about those 5 entry methods? That you guys are that much ahead of the pack. All right, throw me your favorite stocks and we'll put the VWAP on
Exactly. I
them.
was going to say we have
Let's do
about
that.
10 minutes left in the session, folks. So go ahead and start sending me some tickers. Roger, the first one was TSN.
TSN, Taiwan TSM or TSN?
It says TSN.
Oh, Taiwan's Tyson Foods. Tyson looks pretty good. There's no major VWAP issues here. I mean, you could put one up here, but you're already trading up there, so here you'll see it. Yeah, there's no major issues. I would just wait for it. It's too wicky. It's getting slapped too much around here. You got way too much resistance here. You see, this needs to this thing. We need to get out of this channel. By the way, this is a short-term trend. It's a very good, strong short-term trend, but that's a short-term trend. Here's a short-term trend. Here's a short-term trend. All right, I'm just going to keep identifying them. Go ahead.
Okay, so the next one is AM. AMD, excuse me.
AMD, holy
Yeah,
moly. All right.
big difference.
Well, this thing looks like it bottomed out. Now it's coming back up. It's got a long ways to go. It's kind of doing its own thing. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole because it's between moving averages. All right.
All right. Micron.
Micron looks like it's here. So when is this going to be ready, right? It's an A line, but it's not ready yet. Well, you need 2 things to happen. You need to get above this high volume candle, and you need to get above whatever this level is about to post. And guess what? Now, tell me this isn't interesting. Look where the entry level is and look where this is. How off are they? They're off by less than $5. So you need to get above this and you need to get above this. I'd be buying at 3 right here. Let me post an alert. Entry A line. 1 week. Okay, let's continue.
All right. GEV.
Wow, I haven't looked at this one in a while, actually. It looks beautiful. This is a beauty, actually. This is very nice. I don't know why I haven't looked at it. I don't know how come it hasn't been on my radar. It looks very nice. This is a beauty. I like this quite a bit, actually. I'd love to tell you something nasty, but by the way, here's your short-term trend right here.
Where's that anchor VWAP go? Or where would you anchor the VWAP on
well,
this?
right here, but you're already, I mean, you're
Yeah.
here. You're kind of there,
Yeah, exactly. It was just a bar or 2 away.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So the next one is Amazon.
Amazon. Oy vey. This is a short right now. This is a short. Not right now. It has to get what it needs to do is this is a huge bar. It needs to consolidate here, and it needs to do one of these, like a UE back down. But we're not there yet. And if we recover more than 60% of this candle, I think we're going to go up to the 200. What I would do is wait to see what happens near the 200. I wouldn't touch this long right now with your money.
All right. TIGO.
TIGO. Oh, that's a beauty. This was on my long list this morning. This is a stock. This is second to last for my yeah, it looks beautiful. I picked it this morning. This is a nice breakout. You have no overhead resistance here. There's no place to set a VWAP. You have no sellers above you. Everybody's happy. That's why it's going up. By the way, here's your downtrend, right? Here's your short-term trend right here. I'm going to keep pointing them to you every time. There's your short-term trend. And by the way, look what happens right at the 8-day EMA. You guys like those sound effects?
I love them.
All right.
Put Kramer to shame.
Yeah.
Next one, MNST.
That's a beauty right there. This has also been on my last few days. This has been on my list. That looks very nice. As a matter of fact, I may want to put this in a yeah, yeah. These I'm glad you guys are giving me these. These are great. Let me do something real quick here. Okay. All right.
All right. Next one, NVIDIA, NVDA.
Uh, just garbage price action hitting the 100-day and cooling off. It's got to we got to get above this area here. We got to get above this area. I mean, this used to be one of my favorite stocks. Look, by the way, down short-term trend, short-term trend, short-term trend, short-term trend, short-term trend, short-term trend. Just saying.
Just saying.
The relationship between the apex, look, lowest risk entry opportunity, lowest risk entry opportunity, lowest risk entry opportunity. That's 3 in a row. I'm not, I didn't look at this before giving it to you.
Mm-mm.
Look, right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there. All right, let's continue. But you got to have a trending stock. You got to have that foundation. You got to have the structure. This won't work over here. Okay. By the way, that's a head right there and shoulders pattern. And here's the neckline right here, right at the 200-day moving average. Anyway, let's continue.
CAG.
CAG, nice one. CAG. This is an interesting one. I'll be honest with you. The reason this has been going up is because of the bloodbath and chip stocks. It has a long ways to go. I'm not a big fan of buying recovery stocks. It's just not my thing. A lot of guys do it because the trend is there. It's just not my thing. I would want to give it a little more room. I mean, look, there are so many stocks that are making 52-week highs. Why do we have to deal with these crappy ones? That's my attitude. Plus, the shoe is finished. The shoe ended right here.
Yes,
we don't have the shoe anymore. We no shoe. All right, let's continue.
TXN, Texas Instruments, I believe.
It's a nice look. It's a nice look. Here you have it's a nice look. Right now this is a short-term trend right here. And it's keying off of it actually. It's nice. It's nice. It's actually very nice. Yeah, not bad.
All right, we've got a couple minutes more here, Roger. Yeah. Avgo.
Oh boy. It's nothing like NVIDIA, just nothing going on, You got like a head and shoulders pattern right here. Shoulder, head, neckline. I don't know about all this. No. Too dirty.
All right. Next one, Lulu.
Lulu. Wow, I haven't heard that one in a while. I like it to the downside, but it's got some stuff here. This is what I was saying about Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
How there's a liquidity pocket. See, there's a liquidity pocket here. You have all this stuff here. So the odds are it's going to pause right here because there's a lot of bag holders here. Go ahead.
All right. Next one would be PanW. PANW.
PanW. PanW looks really good. And these are high volume candles. Volume's been increasing to the downside. I would wait maybe. It's a very choppy stock. So I would be careful with this one. I would wait for it to come back to the 8-day. I wouldn't be chasing this move.
Mm-hmm. That looks like a falling knife to me.
Just a little too much, maybe.
Yep.
Now, if volume was to really pick up here like crazy, I would say okay. But I want this is not enough tailwind for this kind of move.
Okay. We have time for three more.
Okay.
Intel, INTC.
A lot of people are picking a lot of chip stocks. Now, this is a beautiful stock right now. This is a beauty. This is a very, very nice A line, actually. Here, you guys are some of you guys are starting to. I got to start asking you for stock tips. Look, the VWAP. Let me move the VWAP up here. Okay, look, we moved the VWAP. The VWAP's right here. We're already trading here. We got a lot of volume coming in. Not a lot of volume, but we have a lot of stuff coming in here. We're already above all these wicks. I like this. I like this. I like this a lot, actually. Again, I'd love to. This is the downtrend right here. This is the downtrend right here. And what does it do? It consolidates around the 8 and the 15. And there you go. Yeah, nice breakout on Taiwan Semiconductor. We made good money on it this morning.
And the next one would Palantir, PLTR.
Uh, Getting a little choppy. Again, I would wait for it to come up here before shorting it again. It's below the 200. I mean, you don't want to go long this stuff. You want to sell the hell out of this stuff. Look, lower highs coming down, breaking the 200. You got a double top right here. You got a neckline right. Got a neckline right here. You know, a little, maybe a little lower. This isn't looking pretty, but it's a little overdone here. I would wait. I mean, I would wait for, the 8-day right here. Probably
Okay.
short it again.
And then the last one for today, Roger, ZS.
Richie this is the one that Richie gave us.
Oh, that's right. Zscaler.
Yeah,
We added it to the, yeah.
yeah, it's nice. And notice it's going down, but it's not that far away from the 8-day yet. I mean, I'd like to see it a little higher up. Yesterday, actually, right here would have been a perfect short. But, hindsight is we're all Einsteins, we're all master market wizards in hindsight.
Yes.
I love when people send me email. It doesn't happen often, but why didn't you sell right here? Why didn't you buy right here? Or, yeah, well, if I would have known that.
Yeah. Well, Roger, once again, a terrific session. And I know, folks, we always come into these sessions with an agenda. And sometimes some subject matters take a little bit longer to cover because we want to make sure we drive some points home. We were not able to go ahead and do a refresher on the VWAP and the anchor VWAP, but no worries. That's all in the VIP. If you go to Roger's YouTube channel, just look at yesterday's VIP session. Roger covers the VWAP, the anchored VWAP in great detail. And we'll come back and we'll revisit that next week, folks. We just had a good time going over things today, and we wanted to make sure that we did this. I love these like little flash reviews that we do where we're looking at individual stocks. So once again, folks, I just posted it there. Roger's YouTube channel. You can see replays of his morning pre-market briefings, his morning show, and all of the VIP trade room recordings that we do. Now, we're about ready to go into a more detailed discussion about the anchored VWAP and the VWAP and how we use them in a program called Quick Strike. And for that reason, folks, we are going to discontinue our YouTube stream. We're not allowed to do that on YouTube. So those of you that are in YouTube, please come on over to the Zoom room